right. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Shock Drop podcast. I'm your host, Chris Mafia, and joining me today are my co hosts, Kyle and Azim. On today's episode, we're diving into the latest sneaker releases of the week, going over our predictions of the rumored Nike drop that's been circulating, diving into the lack of Adidas and Yeezy releases, and discussing the mystery box scandal with SneakerCon. We've got a jam packed episode filled with the latest sneaker news, so get ready to listen up and take notes. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Shock Drop podcast on whatever platform you use to listen on and to stay up to date on any episodes that we drop. And we'd always appreciate a review when you're done listening to the episode. So, getting started for the week, guys. What did you guys think of the recent release that we just had? This bagel dunk.
Honestly, I don't mind it because it's something different. Even though it's
Yeah,
kinda still kinda plain.
The
It's
special box was cool.
the special
yeah,
box
the
was
special box
cool,
was good.
but Canada only, right?
I think so. I think only Canada.
Yeah. Well, I have yet
Did you
to
s
receive them in hand, so I can't say for sure if I really like them. I just thought it was a fun take on food.
Yeah, did you see there was a line outside in, like, some store for Canada to get the special box
Yeah,
edition?
while it was, snowing,
Yeah, that's crazy. For, like,
ridiculous.
Actually,
a
Re
outrageous.
Ridiculous. I mean, I get that it's cool, but, I don't think it was that cool to wait
yeah.
overnight in a snowstorm. That's not my cup of tea.
Do you think they should have raffled it?
Probably?
I think it would have been easier just to do a first come first serve in terms of like signing up for like a certain time. I don't know if people have just been waiting there for you know the whole hours and hours before the store opens, but at least some of the stores local to me they do like you can't line up until like the store opens and then it's first come first serve right then.
So
And
people waiting
they're
in the
not
parking
getting
lot?
some of the time, yeah, you've just
Yeah,
got people waiting in their car. Or, you have to find a parking spot, but there's not really like a rush to get in there. There's usually security or something at the door.
that's fair.
I mean, and I like how you said you like it because it was an interesting dunk, right? Because it's
Yeah,
something different, and like,
yeah.
are you getting bored of all the Nike releases that are coming out?
To an extent,
You telling
yes.
me you don't like pandas releasing every other week?
I mean,
We got them tomorrow, man.
I'll take easy money any day of the week. But I mean, to an extent, yeah. Some of the colors are kind of whack. Like today's what, the whole Nike day two, all the coveted dunks that you've all been waiting for. There's a bunch of tartan patterns and all that stuff that nobody really wants. It's I mean, I get that they're trying something new with the tartan patterns, but I don't know. It just some of those are just they're trying way too hard to kind of innovate themselves.
It
Um,
kinda feels like Jordan 1s where it's like, there are
yeah,
so many colorways, there's, like, the lower tier ones, and then there are, like, the kind of hyped ones and, like, the crazy ones like shattered backboards. I feel like they're doing the same recipe with dunks now.
yeah. They're just moving on to the next silhouette.
Yeah, some of these for sure are getting a little. I don't know if like, I mean, and I know you were just talking about the tartan is the plaid, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
the
and
the
like,
holiday sweater that
yeah,
we're saying.
and that's why, yeah. I mean, I think if that one had released before Christmas, I think it would have done better. But like, I
Oh,
don't
yeah, I
know
was
if
thinking
it's
that
just a
too.
shipping issue or like what. And like Kyle and I were talking about that there was the Ice Wonderland dunk, the one that
Yes.
had Azim. Do you remember that? It was like a white velvet, had
Yeah.
like people skiing like embroidered in it, and that never released.
Yeah, it
And
was
like,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
very similar to the Strange Love kind of velvet.
yeah, bro, that would have been an instant sellout. They would have made so
We
much money
also
off that.
had the, what was it, like, the Halloween dunk released months afterwards, where it was like, might as well just
Yes.
hold these until next Halloween.
Yeah.
Last year's, yeah,
And
yeah, that
the
was
what is it? The
bad.
St. Patrick's Day that we dropped in May or something.
Yeah, the
It's like,
SB,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like it did.
It
Come on
kind of
now.
seems like Nike has a big, like, distribution problem where they can't get things on time now.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
that
yeah,
was from China. They've moved a lot to Vietnam and India now. I wonder if that's gonna change some stuff up.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe this year.
I hope. At least for some of these holiday or seasonal releases that they actually fit the seasons that they release on. But otherwise, it's just like Azim, like you said, like they could have just held it to the next year. Um, I don't know. It just feels
Prob-
weird
Probably
releasing
cost them too much
Halloween.
money with the inventory problem that they've got, right?
Yeah, and they probably have another one for the next Halloween 2023 or whatever
My
lined up
only thing with
already.
the inventory problem is like I think the silver lining is they might bring back like better materials for Jordans and Dunks because like they're not selling
Mm,
as much, so might as well use the better materials.
yeah.
They
Well,
could.
they're also decreasing stock too, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We probably
quality
won't see that
now.
effect until like the summer, but yeah, after
Yeah.
that, well, it's supposed to start going down pretty significantly. I think it was like 30-40% is what they said.
Yeah. So hopefully quality over quantity now, which
And
I'm
yeah,
down for. I'd rather have better quality stuff than, you
I'll
know.
put the asterisks on that they did say that it was 30-40% of just of stock. It doesn't necessarily mean it's like, the most hype releases, but
Sure, sure.
uh for sure I think those are the ones that, the $200 Jordans that are not selling and they have to discount are probably the ones that they should consider making less of.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think we should have like shoes that don't sell out, or do you want these shoes that restock like weeks after weeks, and then people will pump fake like what we just saw?
Hmm.
That's a very good
I
question.
don't know. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm not 100% sure like how I would feel.
I think that there should be pairs that would sit, but like I guess my problem with that is I think the Panda Dunk is like an example of a shoe that should be sitting. Like that's a shoe that they should pump out bajillions of pairs and then like everybody could be able to get it. But they're doing that and not everybody can get them still, right? Every month
Yeah.
we have a restock and it's still so hard to get that for some people,
Yeah.
right? Not for most of us. But for the majority of people, right? I mean, it's still hard to get a Panda even though that they release every month or so.
Yeah, this is like Panda round 20 at this point.
I mean, yeah, it was literally every month last year. I think we got a
Yeah.
restock at least, and it's like okay, so I mean that's exactly what I think they should have done with it, and it's still not working. So even I'm a little, I don't know how to answer that question, Azim. I'm a little up in the air.
Well, I guess we should also I think my question for that is towards the end of last year, like did see a significant drop off in perceived stock, right? Like towards the end of the year, there was like maybe just over 10K pairs for men's. So I'm curious what tomorrow's is going to be. Is it going to still be, did they crank it back up or are they really just tapering off um, this cycle?
I
Tapering
mean,
off, you
yeah,
stop.
Yeah, like I'm wondering if they're like if this cycle of like pandas are going to stop soon.
Yeesh, that'd be crazy.
I
Now I'm
think we'll
nervous.
eventually just see them sitting on shelves.
Yeah.
The
Like,
pandas,
yeah, I think
yeah.
because like they're putting out so many, it's like at one point they're gonna reach market saturation.
I don't know. TikTok's doing a great job of helping them fly off the shelves.
They do sit on shelves. They just sit on the shelves in resale stores. So what?
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. It'll be a weird time when pandas no longer restock. It would just feel like an end of an era almost.
And
I just want to see. Oh,
I was gonna say if they
go
stop
ahead.
making pandas, do you think that's when they'd start making like the red panda is what I saw. I think like Complex called it, which is just the panda with a red swoosh.
Why are we calling everything pandas?
I
I
hate it.
mean,
I know they're calling the brown dunk the brown pandas. I
Like
was like, come
why?
on, guys, let's get a better name.
Let's get a little bit more creative.
I feel like they're GRing them like Air Forces, where there's just like small differences in the different
Yeah.
colorways. Like they'll do like the mini swoosh or whatever.
hmm do you feel like this generation could be kind of like labeled as like a panda generation, like the dunk generation, I guess. Like for the newer, like I guess
I mean,
sneakerheads.
I feel like people who are into like pandas and like
Yeah.
the more GR dunks aren't really that into sneakers that much.
Mm,
Like
hmm
if you're really into sneakers, you're gonna care about like okay, at least like SBs or like Jordan 1s or Jordan 4s.
Sure.
It's just like TikTok kids who really gravitate towards pandas.
Yeah. I mean, they
Yeah,
are. Hey, you can't knock it. They are very clean.
they're fantastic.
Yeah.
I actually I got the first time to feel in hand the Nike ID Panda when I was in India. There was a store that had them.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's super nice. Actually, I was very upset that it was like a size, I think a half size too small. Otherwise, I would have picked it up.
Yeah, that's what I've
But
heard. The IDs
that's
are
the
like better
that's the
quality.
Panda I would have kept. Yeah, for sure. But I don't think you can make it anymore. I think they removed the options.
They're like,
So
don't
Really?
make those shoe that we're mass producing.
yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty
basically
sure
the
it's still
problem.
available in like Europe and like Canada. It's just like US doesn't get Nike ID
Of course
dunks right
not.
now.
It's so
Boo.
dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they know they're selling it and making a killing out here still, so they'll never
Hey,
bring it back
it
as long as
sells
that's
out every
going.
single time. So,
That it
yeah.
does, but they want to keep making it sell out.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what I'm saying, like, the day that it doesn't will be weird.
That's the day that Nike ID opens up.
You can make your
All
own
right,
now.
everybody make your own. You got
Yeah,
exclusive access, everybody on the app.
yeah,
Pay more for the same shoe.
yep. But it would feel a lot nicer.
It definitely would feel a lot nicer. Speaking of pushing EA and stuff out to everybody, so a lot of the Instagram posts and stuff, and a lot of other places, and I don't know if I'd call them sources, but everybody was very confident on a Nike release that was coming out. Lost and Founds, Lobsters.
Jackie
Somebody I think said
Robinson.
Travis's.
Travis
I
Scott,
know,
yeah.
Oh gosh.
man. So
That was the amount, well, the different names of the uh
the
shoes that
Everyone
shoes.
were
had
gonna
different
release.
sneaker lists.
I was like, this is the weirdest mashup of like pairs that I've ever seen. Just like
It's just
whatever, just like whatever we have in the inventory. Let's just throw it out there.
So someone
yeah.
was saying that it was like Nike putting out these fake lists to leakers and just seeing like what people say. Do you believe that, or do you think it's
I
just people making it up?
no, I definitely think that's what it was.
Yeah,
If
because
if
it was
people
so
really had them,
random.
yeah,
I don't know.
people
That
really
was
had a source, then it was Nike just trying to like push into different directions and be like, oh, okay, this is what it is. But I mean, it's probably not, all of them, right? It's probably
yeah,
like two people that actually have it,
yeah.
and then they maybe have like two or three sources, and each of those guys are giving them multiple different info. So everybody's getting fed basically the wrong info. I think there was another company that used to do that where they would share memos. Maybe it was Tesla. They would share memos, and like every memo sent to every person would have like a different extra space somewhere.
Mhm.
So then, like, if the memo got leaked, they would figure out whose memo it was, and that's how they would
Ooh,
catch them.
Damn. Didn't you
Yeah,
see this happen with like Yeezy Supply too? Like it used to be a random
yeah.
drop and people would just say it at different times. Be like, no, dude, it's definitely this time.
When they'd list out every time and say AM or PM. I think that's how Easy Mafia got clipped way back when was they got fed some bad info and then they posted it and then all of a sudden they had to change their info later.
Ooh,
But I think that's when they got caught and whoever their plug was that was close in the circle got fired or moved over.
just sounds like the back in the day, the Best Buy info.
Yeah, yeah. That's I mean when we had the Best Buy plug, right? I mean it's
Yep,
definitely it's a couple people through, but you got to be careful with how much they share because they don't want to get caught either.
yep. And then one day, nobody heard from him again.
So out of the Nike things that would drop, what do you think is the most likely? I guess there was a whole bunch of stuff on the list,
Mhm.
right? But out of that list, what do you think would actually drop?
Probably
I
Lost and
think Jackie
Founds.
Robin. Yeah, Lost and Founds and Jackie Robinsons.
Yeah, I would have said the Jackies. I
Really?
don't know
Why
if
Jackies?
Jackie just seems like a shoe that we didn't get a lot of a release of. So I feel like they've got every shoe that Nike makes. They put some
Yeah.
of it in the vault.
Right,
But
right,
the,
right,
the,
right.
the Jackie shoe in specific, I just feel like we just never really got that much of a release. So I feel like they've got pairs hidden around somewhere.
Yeah.
Because just most dunks, I guess, in this time frame have all been made in pretty significant quantities.
Yeah.
Um, versus I think the lost and found is coming. I just don't think it's coming right now.
Yeah, I mean, like you
But I,
said, they had so many pairs of those, so it's sitting
yeah,
somewhere.
definitely is sitting
Yeah.
somewhere.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised they waited this long because I feel like for the patent breads, it was like the next month after
Yep.
release.
And it
Yep.
was a couple restocks.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the black canvas fours. We've never
Oh
got a
yeah.
restock. I mean, we've got like a couple of Shopify restocks, but that doesn't really count.
No, I wouldn't count those.
I feel
Like
like with
this,
fours they don't have as many pairs unless it's like
yeah,
the what were they called? Like the random like Jordan like things where they'll restock a few pairs at once.
the
The
Jordan
reserve.
Reserve.
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
what
And then
I
it's still
think
barely
today
any
was
pairs.
supposed to be or
The
something.
the topes, I don't think we ever got a restock of, right? The
I
brown
think we
one,
did.
did we? I
I
can't
think
even
so.
remember.
It was so long ago, but I
That
feel
was
like we
one that
did.
was also super limited and was just like gone. I mean, it
Yeah.
was the
Well,
moment that it touched down, it was gone.
I thought people were hating on those because that was like one of the first ones with the cracked
Cracked.
leather. Yeah,
Yeah.
and people didn't really like it because it was like it had like some glitter effect or something. But again, it kind of harkens back to what the poor man Travis FNF.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
I think the toe box and one other part when the paint came off, it had like a lighter brown underneath it too. I'm not sure
Mm,
where all it was, and I can't really remember, but yeah, definitely I think that cracked leather messed with some people.
yeah. But then, just like everything else, people started liking it after it was all gone.
Yeah.
Once it sells out.
Yep. It's like, oh, I actually did like that.
I think like once you see it in the hand, it's like you're kind of like, oh, it actually looks good.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like stock photos don't really do that much for my perception of like how a shoe looks until I see like them in hand or
Do you guys
on
change
feet.
opinions with the Alma Manure ones in hand
Yes.
Yeah, I thought they
in a
didn't look
good
as
way or
good.
bad way? Oh, bad way.
Yeah, in a bad way.
Yeah.
I didn't like them in hand.
Yeah. That's unfortunately how I was too. I think they're really nice, but man, they crack just so bad.
Yeah. I also didn't like that my pairs the swoosh, the snakeskin was very pronounced on my pair, and I wanted it a little bit more of like a solid
You should
swoosh.
cop the white Air Jordan 185 that they dropped a while
The
back.
natural,
The
the
neutrals,
neutral
Yeah.
gray.
yeah, yeah, maybe, but I don't know. That one's like too like clean, too neutral for me.
Just
They
that
got
all
some
that Crate
nice
Protect,
panda
it's
highs
2
coming.
bottles.
Mhm.
Panda
Yeah,
highs.
Yeah, that's the Panda High 85s.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant
that
by the Dunk highs.
No. Those are coming too, but I mean, those are just sitting around most of the time.
yeah. The panda or black and white 85s. I don't know if
Hmm.
people really like calling them panda 85s.
It's black and white. It's getting called a panda. Honestly, I'm impressed they didn't get called the Panda 4s for the military blacks.
Oh, true, true.
I really
Those
thought that's my whole like belief in why they sell so well is because they are the Panda 4s. I
just
mean,
calling everything a
they
panda.
immediately sold so well, and I'm like, yo, somebody just made a TikTok somewhere and called them the Panda 4s, and they just took off.
Just call it everything, yeah, black and white, and maybe it'll just increase resale like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody's down so bad for prices that they must be just hurting to try to get everything to resell.
You know?
Yeah, so we were talking about earlier, right? The plaid pandas.
Oh, the
It's
plaid
just
was I don't know, man. Like,
They're quirky.
they are, but it's just like it's too quirky.
you gonna wear those to church or something? Like I
Or
don't, I
I
to
feel
a
like
don't.
at this point,
or
there's
or
like a
that
dunk
too
for
like a
everyone. Like
yeah.
you have
Yeah,
any colorway you want.
I feel
I
like
mean, you could just Nike ID it then.
yeah. If they let
That's
you
why I
do that
don't give it
pattern.
to the US because you have every pair,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. I don't know. The tartan ones like make me think of like a Scottish kilt. I'm just like imagining like Scottish man playing the bagpipes wearing them.
You
pretty
have
funny.
quite the imagination.
Yeah, just because I've seen like Scottish bagpipers at weddings, so that's the imagery I get.
We I've seen one through my wife's family. He's got like a red kilt, and I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the dunk that they need. I gotta
Hey,
start advertising to that side.
that's the new uniform. Guys are wearing kilts and dunks today.
Yeah, the Scottish dunks. That's what
Yep.
they're a
Hey,
nickname.
we're nicknaming all of the dunks. Oh,
It's nice, I guess, that Nike's been able to pump out all these. But Azim, I know you've been one that been talking about this, but although lack of Adidas and Yeezy drops, even though they're kind of broken up, are
yeah.
you still gonna buy those if they come out?
The only one I would think of is if they drop Pirate Black 350s.
Like the OG one, no change?
Yeah, because
Besides the Yeezy removal.
yeah, because think about it, you
Yeah.
can't tell besides the Yeezy logo,
They'll take
and
off
that's on
the
the inside.
insole logo, I assume,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's
Didn't
probably
they
the
also
only.
have a logo on the inside part of the
Oh
foot?
yeah, in the
inside of the
badge.
foot,
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I forgot
but
about
you can't
that.
tell
The
that. How are you gonna see that,
right.
like,
Well, I mean, yeah,
by,
you
like,
can't see
staring at
it,
someone's foot?
but
You
like
can't see
if
it, but
they
I think if they release it, I think they have to pay him for it.
yeah, or they would have to redo it and remove it, right?
Yikes! Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think they're already produced because they were supposed to
Oh,
drop in January.
Yeah, but we're
Yeah.
also hearing, like, is it zebras or some other colorway that they're gonna release?
Uh, I don't know about zebras, but I was talking about that granite-ish colorway
Yeah.
the
that's
slate
supposed to
gray
drop.
one, yeah.
Yeah, but like I think the issue with a lot of those is like it comes down to like them sitting on inventory, right? Is
Mhm.
they've got all these Yeezys and stuff in storage, but like they're all in Yeezy branded box
Yeah,
with Yeezy branded tags with
yeah,
Yeezy branded insoles. So like they have to change all of that, right?
yeah,
Otherwise they have to pay them.
yeah,
So,
and that's
do
a
you think if they
lot.
still sold it with the Yeezy, branding, do you think they'd sell out? Even though it's kind of a mediocre colorway?
I, maybe certain ones. I definitely think it would get a lot harder for them to sell things. It was already hard enough for them to sell stuff out.
Well, but do you think the fact that the brands are no longer connected, that would make people want to buy them more?
That's the only
Not
reason, it's because like, Kanye isn't making them anymore.
Right.
not to mention now if they'd actually put them up again, there would no longer be that pretend out of stock, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just pull it and hold it for later. You got to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's gone.
I'm
Yeah,
very
so
impressed that they decided they would not do a step down in price. I think that hurt people's opinions. I think if they had reduced all the prices
yeah,
back down to like the $20 or like to buy
200.
$20, yeah, to 200,
Yeah.
I think people would have bought it.
Yeah. Even though it doesn't feel like that big of a step up, it just I think a lot of people were like associating the Yeezy brand as like a premium brand, right?
Yeah,
And now that you remove it, you're removing the premium, but
Yeah.
you're still keeping the premium price
price.
tag. Yeah. Yeah, I
I
don't
mean, I
know,
still
man.
see 350s worn around a bit and Yeezy Slide, so I feel like
Mhm.
maybe resale stores could move them for a little bit over retail.
Yeah. Well, but then I feel like the ones that I see out in public are like the ones that don't have the Yeezy branding. It's just like the more recent colorways like the bone,
Really?
the was it the cinder? The ones with like the mesh
Hmm.
stripe.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
Cinder.
So they're like you can't like from afar like you can tell it's a 350 model, but like it doesn't scream Kanye, I guess. If that makes sense.
The 350s that I see the most, definitely number one, I think, is the zebra.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a couple in the airport, and then like when I was traveling over the winter,
Huh,
and then
interesting.
around here, there's a couple people that have them, but like you don't really see, you'll occasionally see like breads or like some kind of black,
Sure.
350, but the zebra is definitely the one that stands out the most versus like just a black kind of shoe. I think some of the black colorways all come in very close, second, third, and fourth, but
Right.
um, Yeah, it's very interesting that the zebras are one of the more common ones, but they've
Hmm.
also restocked quite a bit.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 times at this point.
Yeah. Just as much as the wave runners almost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
another one that I see pretty often, wave runners.
Yeah, I actually don't see those ever
Really?
really?
around
Wow.
I
here.
see
Yeah.
a lot of like 700 V2s and V3s.
V3s?
I see a couple
Yeah,
V3s, yeah.
Wow,
At the
okay.
malls up north. Yeah, I see V3s. But it's not like the Azales either. It's like the blue colorway
it's just a random
or the
colorway
yellow
that
one.
they picked off
Yeah.
the shelf, probably.
Hey, at least they could get those for retail or below retail.
Exactly.
I don't think it's below retail, unfortunately. I don't think any Yeezy product could be discounted. That's what I really hate about it. I'm like, yo, it's not a Yeezy product anymore,
Yeah.
drop the price. Yeah, I'm
Clearance
a little
rack,
bitter about
clearance
that.
rack.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do like an Adidas slide, like the Yeezy slide?
I
Oh,
mean, they tried, right? The Addy.
yeah, the Addy foams? No,
Yeah.
that's their take
Oh,
on the foam runners though, right? Not
that
the
was
No, no,
yeah,
no,
it was
not
like the
Addy
foam
foam.
runner.
The Adilit. The one that
Oh,
looks like it's like a terraformed kind of land. I
I
think
remember
that's
the
what it's
the
called.
outlets. Oh, I see. Yeah, they kind of do.
Yeah, bro,
It's hard to
those were
say though. I
super
feel like
weird.
oh, okay.
did these come
Yeah.
out after the Addy foams, like the one that Kanye was like upset about.
This was the one I think he was upset about.
Was he upset about the Walmart one?
Dude, Walmart's selling dunks now. Did you see
Yeah, I
that?
saw that.
And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
Walmart's selling everything.
Yeah.
and it's like horribly like it's really bad. Like for one, I mean it just looks ugly, but
Yes.
it's like a really obvious copy.
Yeah, it is. The colorways too. They had like well, they had the pandas, they had like UNC and I
Yeah,
think
and the peach colorway, I
a
think.
peach color one, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow.
I know
They're
for
they're really
sure
going
that
for it.
whoever's making those Yeezy slides or something, or whoever's making the Nike Calm, right? That's the Nike
Mhm.
Yeezy slide, right?
Mhm.
Somebody definitely sold that mold to other people because when I was in India, there's some other like fashion shop that we went into, and my wife was getting sandals, and there was a whole booth, like a whole little table that was just this one little company, and they basically had the exact copies of Easy Slides. It had the pointed, jagged bottoms. It had the whole
Dang.
smooth inside, and
Wow,
it
that's
had their just
crazy.
logo printed. And I was like, "Yo, somebody just bought and sold the mold and just basically remade the whole shoe."
Because
And
like H&M and Zara had their own like version of it that was pretty similar, didn't they?
probably Zara is a big fast fashion one, aren't they?
Yeah, they like
Yeah.
copy and paste a lot.
Yeah. Huh,
Yeah,
well, I
definitely.
guess we'll see what Adidas decides they want to end up doing. I feel like even though they're sitting on so much inventory, to redo all the boxes and the insoles and the branding is just gonna take a hot minute for them to
I feel
get
like they
that
have to
all.
sell it as is, or they're gonna wait like 6 months to a year
And
to
you
rebrand
know,
everything.
yeah, and cost them a lot more too to redo all of it.
The rumor right now is that since Kanye, I think, declined to buy out the pairs that they have, right? Because it would make it a lot easier for them, for him just to take them and sell them.
Yeah,
I think that they're just like backdooring it through like bulk purchasing through either other stores or probably platforms right now. Um, and,
interesting.
and then they've done this before where like
Yeah.
they've sold to Goat and like other platforms just so then
Hmm.
that way they can get discounted pairs on there. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's not many other options for them right now.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, speaking of, I guess, it's up in the air, but I know we talked about the mystery box thing a little earlier, but um, just for anybody that's listening and is a little unaware from what's going on, recently there's been a whole bunch of mystery boxes that have been popping up at SneakerCon, and it's one store and one individual has been like responsible or taken responsibility for it in specific, but that store has been on camera several times, basically having mystery boxes that are what's the retail on them? $300.
300.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
around $300, and they're reselling it, and people are opening it up, and they're getting Panda Dunks, they're getting GS True Blues, they're
Yeah.
getting Polaroid Dunks. I mean, you're getting like $100 maybe ish worth of value, $120 of like a shoe in that box. What do you guys think about that?
I have yet to see someone win.
And it's mostly kids, I think, that we see on the
It
clips,
is. It's
which is
like
the
Yeah.
worst part.
it's the worst. It's like young kids, probably their first time at SneakerCon, trying to, this is their first time seeing, probably all these like stands and like pairs, like grail pairs for people, like for the first time, and they're like, oh, maybe I can win one, and it just hurts to watch them open it, and it's
Yeah.
like a panda, and you're like, no, you're losing
Yeah.
money.
It's like they're trying to get into the culture and like get into sneakers, and then this is what they have to deal with, and it's like
Yeah.
it leaves a bad taste in the mouth.
Oh, 100%.
And the worst part is, their parents back there right behind them filming.
Yeah.
And they have no idea like what it's worth.
Yeah. And the for the parent, it's just like, "Oh, look how cool it is," you know? Like, "I've seen these before," or whatever, but they don't know the value of
It's
them.
a cool gimmick, right? It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, you got a shoe, very cool. Uh, it's not as cool when you realize that the shoe is half of what you paid for. But
Exactly.
so yeah, I mean, do you guys think there's a way? I guess they can do mystery boxes and be fair, or do you just think they should just get rid of them at those events and stuff?
I think they should just get rid of them because I feel like people are gonna try to take advantage of it too much.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the way like in the best possible world, it should be done as like every box should be worth at least $300, and maybe you get lucky and it's like a grail pair.
Yeah. But, okay, this is probably my statistics background. Unless they give you what the odds are of, like, what shoes have been
Yeah, one hundred
allocated where,
percent. Like
unless you know the odds, because I think that's what they had to do
They
for
they said it was
for video games like FIFA, or like some of the ultimate teams, like, the
the loot boxes.
microtransaction, yeah, loot boxes,
yeah, they
like
have to like
now they have
say
to show the percentages of like what you could possibly get because of all the things for like it kind of like relates to this, like the kids don't know, right? The kids are just like trying to win something, but they don't know like percentages or whatever. But so
I
those
think
companies
in
had
one
to
of the
change.
videos they claimed that they said it was like 1 in 4 was how many
yeah, and I
people
mean like
won. But
I'm
like
sure they have like one or two boxes
Yeah.
where like someone actually won something big, like just to show, or like maybe they actually wanted to.
Hmm.
But
the
like,
one clip they posted, the box was already cut open. And the guy
Uh,
just opened it up and got lobsters. And people were like, "Why is every other box sealed?"
yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's a little sus, I guess."
Very
There's
sus.
there was a couple. I don't want to say who it was, but there was a couple other people who are vendors at sneaker cons, and they even replied and said they've never seen a winner. So
Ooh.
that's what's really like, that's a little bad if like you got other vendors being able to call and say like, hey, we've never seen that happen. Probably
Yeah.
more in the, they're probably on board to get that kind of thing removed because SneakerCon
Well,
does say no gambling, right?
yeah. This is
And
a form of gambling.
yeah, I
yeah,
think that's the best decision, like for them, just like say no.
Yeah. It's just a slippery slope to go down if you kind of allow it to keep going. But like you said, Azim, it's like, um once this if they continue to allow it, like, there could be like more bad, players in the game that will
Yeah,
try
people will
to
try to
take
take advantage
advantage.
of the system.
Exactly. And it's just like, that's not what this is about, guys. Like, especially for the kids who are coming in for the first time, like, this is not the experience we want them to leave SneakerCon with, or other events.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there was only one mystery box that I would consider like fair. I still never bought it. I would never buy into like a mystery box like that.
Hmm.
But it was promoted by a sneaker YouTuber, and it was from some shop, I think, and like it was a really low chance kind of odd thing of
Mhm.
like, oh, one out of every one of these, one out of this entire set of orders, basically that they're dropping is going to have like red Octobers, or it would have like a shattered backboard or a fragment Jordan 1, right? Something crazy like that. Um, but it was a huge allotment of orders, right? It's over like probably 500 plus something
Mhm.
orders, so the odds are really low. But if you didn't win that, you still got like, I think it was like two antisocial t-shirts, and each box was like $120.
Was
So
this
like,
net magnetism?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
For a
I
hundred
don't
bucks,
I
I don't
don't
think that's bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't remember who it was, but I mean, for two t-shirts like that, that's just
Yeah.
about $60 each for per shirt. So
Yeah.
you're basically getting retail on that.
Right.
So like, I mean, for me, I was like, okay, that's basically the most fair kind of mystery box, because at
Yeah.
at worst, you're probably not gonna like those two t-shirts, but at
Sure.
least you got something that's like, what you paid for. That's
Yeah,
the
more or
same almost
less.
amount of money, right?
Yeah.
Versus like, yeah, bro, I couldn't imagine spending $300 and just taking a $140 loss just right there on the spot.
Yeah. That would just hurt.
And
Like,
some of them, it was so dumb. He was like, they were changing the boxes.
what?
It was
Oh
like
yeah,
yeah, you open the box and it was like a Jordan box that had lobsters in it, and I was like, that's cool, but
yeah.
like, I want
Oh,
the
that's
original box.
yeah. No, that's not cool. At least
Yeah,
keep
like what's the
everything
point of that?
original. Yeah. Faked you out again.
It just drops the value on it even more. Like, just
Yeah.
just give me the original packaging and stuff. If it's
Dude.
not my size, I'm gonna sell it and get something that is. If it is my size, I want the original packaging.
Yeah. Yeah. That
It
just
kind of feels like a Goat's Black Friday thing where like people would say like, oh, they had like problems like handling the order, and they would just like
yep.
refund the person for like the
Mhm.
Grail shoes.
Some people couldn't even use it. Some people were getting denied their Black
Yeah.
Friday prize.
Yeah. I saw the guy with the who I think the Dior highs, he ended up getting those.
Oh, good. Who won them?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously it took a bunch of like escalations and then calling out on Twitter for that to happen, but
Yeah, you have to get that attention, otherwise they'll just bury you, right?
yeah. But still, that's just it's not it's not cool.
So, have any of you guys bought a mystery box?
No, because this exact thing is like I don't like losing in a sense. Like, yeah, I guess like that's the whole premise of it. Like it's a chance, right? But without knowing the odds, I don't like it. I
I've
like
never Oh, go ahead.
I was like I only like doing things, I guess mystery boxes or like gambling if I know my odds.
Yeah, for sure. The only thing that I ever bought as a mystery box was from the Drake website, Drake related,
Okay.
where they did like, I think it was like $20, and it was like a $20 mystery bag, so
Hmm.
you could get anything from like a t-shirt to like their F&F jacket.
Ooh.
Yeah, 20
Uh
bucks isn't bad.
Yeah,
yeah,
20
so
bucks
I
isn't
was like, yo, I was
horrible.
like, here's $100. Like, that's
You got
basically
5
like,
of them?
yeah, bro. I was like, that's basically a Supreme like t-shirt plus something else, after shipping and
Sure.
tax. So I was like, okay, let's go ahead and throw it in. At worst, I get a whole bunch of t-shirts I get to mow the lawn in, right?
Yeah.
I
That's
definitely
what
got
you
a whole
mow the
bunch of
lawn in.
t-shirts. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of t-shirts I mow the lawn in. And one of them's a Magic City t-shirt that has like the phone number and like a girl on it.
Wait,
And
really?
like, my neighbors definitely appreciate seeing me out in the front yard mowing with the kids playing wearing that one.
How you
Um,
doing, Bob?
I
Doing
got
pretty good
like,
over here.
yeah. I The only thing that I hated about it was like 3 out of the 5 were Scorpion t-shirts, and I hate Scorpion.
Oh,
Um,
rip.
so like the other was like a tour shirt and then the Magic City t-shirt.
Hmm.
Um, but
That's
it
funny.
was all right. The jacket would have definitely been cool. That's what I was going for.
The FNF jacket.
Yeah, it was like the one that had the hearts in it and stuff.
Mm.
So I was like, yeah, okay, that would have been cool. But nope,
Yeah.
I got t-shirts.
You
I
remind
like
me. There's this one retail store that's doing mystery boxes like for their own brand stuff. So it's not like sneakers. It's just
Oh,
shirts.
for their own merch?
Yeah, so it's like $100 you pay, and it's supposed to be $250 worth of value.
Of
You see,
their own stuff.
Yeah, it's like their own clothing line,
Interesting.
I don't
which
know.
isn't
Whenever I hear
bad
that,
because you're not.
I can't imagine it's ever like a good amount. It's not. It's either like it's not good merch, or you're just getting like the worst of their collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the stuff they couldn't sell out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Definitely end up getting like the worst of the worst.
unfortunately.
But I think that kind of wraps it up for today on everything that we had to discuss.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody again for joining us on this episode. Make sure to follow and subscribe to keep up to get notified for episode 3, and be sure to give us a rating if you've listened this far. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.